I know what you're thinking. You've seen this a million times before, right? But today I'm going to mix things up. That means to do things differently. Today, let's talk about tea. Brits are obsessed with tea, right? That's what everybody says. Obsessed as an adjective, meaning that we really love it. We think about it all the time, we do it a lot, we drink a lot of tea. And you would be correct, tea is extremely popular in the UK. But actually, England itself is only the 4th largest consumer of tea. The biggest country in the world is actually Turkey, followed by Morocco, then Ireland, and then England. But we do love a good old brew in the UK. A brew. That's the easiest way to say a cup of tea. Yes, it's slang, and actually there are not that many slang words for tea in English. You could call it a brew, a cuppa, a chai, as in chai, the Indian word for tea, or a cup of cha, or a cup of charlie. Cha is a very old word that we use to talk about tea. But these days, you'll probably just hear, well, 3 different ways. Would you like a cup of tea? Brew, that's a question. Cup of tea. Or fancy a cuppa? Fancy a. When we say fancy to somebody, fancy something, we're asking them, would you like it? Do you want it? Fancy a brew? You can't beat a good brew. I normally drink 2 cups of tea every day, as regular as clockwork. Usually my first brew is at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, between 2 and 3 o'clock. And then I have a cup of tea after tea, tea being the evening meal. And that's it. Regular as clockwork, meaning I do it like this every day. I'm very predictable with my tea drinking. Well, let's talk about what tea British people actually drink. It's actually quite boring. Considering we are one of the biggest consumers in the world, you might be surprised to find that black tea is the most popular tea in England, and the most popular way of drinking tea or making tea is just to use a tea bag. And most tea bags sold in the supermarkets are black tea bags. There are other popular types of tea, but none of them are as popular as black tea. Next, the other way of making tea would be to use loose tea. And it's very rare these days that you'll find loose tea being used to make a cup of tea. Traditionally in the old days, you'd place loose tea into a teapot and then you'd make tea for everybody. But as I say, these days you never see it. And if you do go to a place like a cafe or a restaurant that serves tea, normally you'll find a tea bag or maybe 2 tea bags inside the teapot. I've got to give a shout out to my mum. My mum bought me this teapot a few months ago. Thanks a lot, Mum. It's so cool, wouldn't you agree? So if you do love drinking loose tea, or you like fruit tea or different flavours of tea, and you're thinking of moving to the UK, just be warned that it's not going to be easy for you to find different types of tea in the supermarkets. You can probably find them online, but just know that it won't be popular in the supermarkets. Hello, little man, you alright?
Yeah.
We're talking about tea. Do you like a cup of tea?
No. Not really.
Not really? No, it's quite strong for children, isn't it? Can you think of a word to describe tea? How does it taste?
Sugary.
Sugary? Well, that's Daddy's tea. Well, that brings us on to another point actually. So how do we drink our tea? Well, I think most people take their tea with milk and sugar. And so if you come to somebody's house, they're going to ask you when you come into the house, fancy a brew, cup of tea, would you like a cuppa, would you like a cup of tea? And if you say yes, they're going to say, how do you like it? Or how do you take it? Or how do you want it? So in my case, I'd say, milk with 2 sugars, please. You might want to tell them that you like it milky, if you like extra milk, or that you like it strong, if you don't like much milk. Oh, the whole family's here now. I'm getting distracted, but yes, that's what you'd say. If you like your tea just black, then you could say to the person, as it comes, please, or black. I'd like it black. I'd like it as it comes, meaning just give me the tea, please, nothing extra. And some people like to put sweeteners inside their sugar.
Like Grandma.
That'd be very sweet. Some people like to put sweeteners in their tea or coffee, like Grandma. And what is a sweetener? That's another noun. So a sweetener is an alternative to sugar, although it's basically full of chemicals and makes your drink taste sweet. But there we go. Actually, that's all for today's vlog. I've got to get back to work. I've got a whole bunch of lessons to teach today. Is there anything you'd like to say to...
Bobo. Paka.
What does that mean, Paka? It means bye-bye in Russian, okay?
Au revoir.
Alright, excellent. In French, and I'm going to say it in English. Goodbye. See you later.
Okay.